Picture this conversation. There's no hold music. You're not getting transferred. It's just boom, problem solved. What used to be this whole drawn-out process with multiple people can now be handled in seconds. So how on earth is that possible? Well, let's get into it. So in this explainer, we're pulling back the curtain on the tech that makes those conversations happen. AI voice agents. And these are not your simple everyday bots. No, they are completely changing the game for how insurance companies talk to their customers. Think of them as super smart new members of the team. So why now? Why is this technology such a big deal at this very moment? Well, it's because the insurance industry is being squeezed from pretty much every direction. It's kind of like a perfect storm of rising demands and not enough resources to meet them. Let's break that down a bit. You've got customers, right? And we all expect instant, 24/7 service for everything now. At the exact same time, call centers are just flooded, which of course drives up costs. And to top it all off, finding good, skilled agents and keeping them is getting harder and way more expensive. You got to remember, even a tiny delay or mistake, when you multiply it by thousands of calls a day, has a huge impact on both the company's wallet and, customer happiness. Okay, so with all that pressure, something's got to give. And this is where a new solution is stepping right into the middle of that storm. To deal with all these modern problems, the industry is turning to a really modern technology, conversational AI. And this isn't some far-off sci-fi concept. It's a real tool being used today. So it's really important we get what an AI voice agent actually is. We are talking about something way more advanced than those press 1 for sales menus. This is a smart system that's designed to understand how people actually talk, to figure out what you mean, not just the specific words you say, and then, this is the key part, to actually do something complex about it right then and there.
Now, it is super easy to get these mixed up with the chatbots we see on websites all the time, for simple questions. But voice agents, they're a totally different animal. They are built from the ground up to handle all the weirdness and nuance of a real spoken conversation, which makes them perfect for those high-stakes, need-it-done-now moments like filing a claim or making a critical change to your policy.
All right, so enough with the theory. How does this stuff actually play out in the real world? Let's walk through some of the most important jobs these AI agents are taking on inside an insurance company, covering everything from simple day-to-day stuff to full-blown crisis mode. First up, maybe the single most important moment for any customer, filing a claim. It's called the First Notice of Loss, or FNOL for short. An AI agent can handle this call anytime, day or night. It can calmly guide a stressed-out customer through getting all the key details down accurately. Then it gets smart. It triages the claim, flags the really urgent stuff for a human right away, and creates this perfect time-stamped record of everything for compliance. It's a game changer.
Okay, next, let's talk about all the routine stuff. Need a new ID card for your car? Want to add a new driver to your policy? Instead of sitting on hold, you can now just do it yourself, whenever you want. The AI checks if you're eligible right there on the call, spits out the documents you need automatically, and can even take a payment securely to make it all official.
Now, this is where it gets really clever. It starts to get proactive. AI agents can actually look at the data and predict which customers might be about to let their policy expire. Then, it can reach out before that happens, let them check out different coverage options, or maybe a discount, and set up the payment. It's all about keeping customers happy and on board before a problem even starts. Here, the AI basically acts like a fraud detective. As it's having a conversation, it's analyzing patterns in the background, looking for red flags that might signal something fishy's going on. It automatically blocks out sensitive information to keep everything secure and can seamlessly pass a suspicious case along with the full notes over to the human fraud team to investigate. The AI also makes the whole money side of things smoother. It uses super secure tokenized systems for payments, which just means your actual card number is never floating around, and it can send out automated reminders if you're late. Best of all, the second a payment goes through, it can reinstate a policy instantly, no waiting. It just makes the whole thing faster and way, way more secure. Okay, now for the ultimate stress test, a catastrophe. When a hurricane, a flood, or a wildfire hits, the number of calls doesn't just go up a little, it explodes. We're talking a massive, tenfold spike, sometimes more. It's almost impossible for any human team to handle that kind of surge, and that's exactly when people need help the most.
And this is where AI voice agents become absolutely essential. They are built to scale up instantly. They can handle that massive flood of calls, sorting through them to get the most urgent cases to the front of the line. They can even start making outbound calls and sending texts to keep everyone updated, which helps reduce the panic. And they can even connect people directly with repair shops to get help on the way, faster.
But look, I know what you might be thinking. It's a huge mistake to see this as just being about replacing people with robots. That's not the goal here. It's not just about automation. It's about augmentation. It's about making the human agents on the team better, faster, and way more effective at what they do.
And the perfect example of this is something called Live Agent Assist. So think of the AI as a co-pilot for the human agent. While the person is handling a really tough call, the AI is listening in the background, feeding them real-time suggestions, pulling up the exact policy info they need, and making sure they stay compliant. Then, the second the call ends, bam, it's already generated a perfect summary and a list of action items. All that boring after-call work just vanishes.
So when you start putting all these different pieces together, what does it all really add up to? Well, what you're creating is a future-ready insurance company. Adopting this kind of tech isn't just a minor upgrade, it's a complete change in how they deliver service to their customers. So the advantage for companies that get this right is just crystal clear. They can offer 24/7 help, which customers absolutely love. They can slash their operational costs. They deliver service that's faster and more accurate than ever before. And maybe the most important thing of all, they free up their talented human agents to focus on the really complex, sensitive, and emotional conversations. The ones where a real human touch makes all the difference.
So I'll just leave you with this last little thought to chew on. As this technology gets better and more integrated into everything, that line between talking to a human and talking to an AI is just going to get blurrier. The next time you call your insurer, the most helpful, efficient person you speak to might not be a person at all. And the craziest part? You might not even know the difference.